Hey guys, today we're talking about scene hair. Now, I asked you guys on Instagram, give me any questions about scene hair. Like, that's my obsession, is scene hair. Mine, I actually haven't been wearing it like this recently. Recently, I've been doing it like this, so it shows, like, my gauges. They're actually fake as hell. They're just like those earring things. The thing with scene hair, you don't have to have it specifically a certain way. I mean, that's how it was, you know, back in 2008, whatever, you know, MySpace. Like, they're gonna come at you for not doing the scene hair right. Or at least, that's what I've noticed with some of the older generation scene kids. Don't get me wrong, they're amazing. They're what started the whole goddamn thing. Sometimes, you know, I understand where they're coming from. Like, they want it to be exactly the way it was when it was, you know, back in the MySpace era, which is perfectly straight, and teased up all the time, and dyed 24/7. That's, you know, not colored or dyed or anything. You don't have to have it teased. It's just the way you present it, basically. I've seen girls with straight across bangs, you know, they still call themselves scene, but that I'm rambling. I'm going into a whole nother territory. But I'm just saying, anyone can have scene hair. Like, and just the fact that you're seen and you like the clothing, like, it doesn't even matter if you have the scene hair or not. As long as you're just enjoying the genre of music or the style, then I personally consider you seen. And I got a lot of questions, so I'm probably going to respond to as many as I can. First one, when did you realize you wanted scene hair? Well, about in 7th grade-ish, I saw a bunch of girls with this haircut, and I was like, wow, that would, like, really suit me, because it's like, I don't know, I always thought that guys with, like, flippy hair were attractive, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the girl version of that, and that's kind of how that came to be. Also, I just thought that scene girls were really, really pretty. Is there, like, a way to cut it in order for it to get your hair to stay like that? Kind of. I mean, you're not gonna want, like, really long hair in, like, in your eyeballs. So you might want to, like, cut it so you can at least see. But other than that, the cut doesn't actually make it go, like, train it to go like this. You actually, at least for me, you have to train it for a certain amount of time. And I mean, I've had this hairstyle, you know, since 2012 or so, 2013, I don't know, somewhere in there. And what I first started doing, hold on, I'll show you. I actually learned this from another scene girl on YouTube when I was younger. You take the hair that has been cut in a certain way, and you put it into bobby pins like this, and then you go to sleep like that. And you'll look ridiculous, but it'll be worth it in the end if you really want this haircut or hairstyle or whatever. And to be honest, like, if you didn't have this part, like, that doesn't matter either. You can literally just do it with just bangs too, if you want to have the swooshy swoosh. Is that real hair or a wig? It's my real hair. Oh boy, I need to fix my roots. But yeah, real hair, not fake. Really fucking long. And I'll explain that probably later in the video as well. I also, if you guys want to see how I take care of my hair and keep it, you know, as healthy as seen hair can be, here's the little info card for that, if I can put it up there. If not, it'll be in the description. Did you have to convince your parents to let you cut your hair? And if so, how do you do it? I didn't really convince them. Actually, my aunt, I asked her to help me, like, go, you know, she would take me to go get haircuts, because my hair was really, really, really long. Like, it was longer than this. I mean, because I've always had long hair, and that's just been my staple thing, except for one time in high school that, we don't talk about that. Not really. I just showed some pictures of some really more natural looking seen hair, and I think at first I said I wanted like side swept bangs, and then it like casually grew into something more, and then I started looking up hair tutorials, and that's what made me just decide, well, I'm just gonna chop the shit out of this. And then it just kind of happened. So I just kind of learned on my own, and then you know, from there I got kind of addicted. And so now I cut my hair like all the time. I cut my friend's hair. I cut like my family's hair sometimes. Just a warning, you may get addicted to cutting your own hair. And it's pretty fun. Just as long as you just take your time, like your first time, if you're ever cutting your hair, take your time, you know, and just do bit by bit, basically. Has your hair ever been damaged because of re-dyeing it? How does it remain so thick? So, I mean, it's more information if you watch that link, but, the reason why my hair is like this, I feel like, it does have to do with genetics as well, because some people are born with thicker hair, some people are born with medium or thin. Be careful if you have thin hair. From my personal experience, I bleach it. Hi, pumpkin. I bleach it. I bleach my roots, like, once they're about an inch thick, you know? And then when I dye my hair, I use vegan dye. So, and I let that, like, just fade out. Like, I don't use any color remover because that really dries out your hair. So I go through a crusty phase for a little while, and then I, like, dye it again. So, yeah, my secret is use vegan dyes and non-permanent, because permanent, I feel like that'll fuck with your hair, because the way you'll have to get it out is with either bleach or color remover. Even blondes, you have to bleach it out so it's more porous so that the dye can actually get into the follicle. How do you cut it so it's all jagged and sharp looking? To be quite honest, I don't really know the answer to that. I just kind of do it. I just go in and I chop it up. And especially when you're straightening it or something, it will look more, you know, jagged looking. And also, maybe if you're layering it, the more layers you do, the more jagged it's gonna look. So if you do really, really short layers, you know, then you're gonna have more of a jagged look to it. Do you need to cut your hair to have seen hair? You can. I have seen people where they have literally this. So this is completely, like, they have normal people hair, basically. And they just have really long hair here. I mean, it's kind of cute. You know, and they just kind of have it like this. So I could see that as seen if you're really scared to cut your hair, or, you know, your parents won't let you cut your hair. Then I can completely understand this. So yeah, you don't have to cut your hair to have scene hair. This is just how most people that want scene hair usually have it. Will it work for people with curly hair? The thing is, I do not have curly hair. I've seen black girls do scene hair. Picture here. They do it quite well. I would probably not be the expert to tell you how it would work on your specific curly hair. I'm actually gonna go to school and learn specifically curly hair, hopefully. I want to learn how to do all of ethnicities of hair, but I'm just not qualified to completely answer that question. But I'd say if they can do it, I'm sure that you can. Or if you have like just if you do have curly hair, you could either straighten it, or you can wear wigs, or you can just, you know, just flaunt what you got, you know. You can literally just have your hair parted to the side, and I'd still consider that scene. I want to cut my hair as scene, but I've never cut my hair before anyway. Any tips? Look up a lot of tutorials, and like I said, cut small pieces at first. But also don't be afraid when you're cutting it, because if you're afraid, then it might just look like poop. Like, just make sure you're ready for it. How do you get your bangs not to split? My hair has been trained, basically, not to split. So what they mean by splitting is it'll kind of do this, which I had a lot of problems with when I first had scene hair, like, or it'll split like right here. It still happens to me from time to time, but what I would say is use, you know, hairspray. That should help. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of hairspray, but if you have to use hairspray, then at least try and get some, like, good quality hairspray. Should I get my scene hair done at a hair salon or do it by myself? So, if it's your first time, go do it at a hair salon. I'll guarantee you they will most likely fuck up. That's what they did to me, like, every single time I went. But then again, maybe I was young, maybe I didn't explain it to them well enough. But when you do that, then go, like, right once you go home, you'll have basically the layout. Then just go ham. That's what I would say, because that's basically what I did. I had the bangs, I had somewhat of layers. They were way longer than I wanted, so I ended up just chopping it up myself. I wish my hair would keep its volume throughout the day. How do you keep it teased? It falls down for me too, because of the wind or just daily things. What I would say is mostly just keep a teasing comb on you and, you know, tease it up throughout the day. Or you can get Got To Be, which I don't use because it stays in there like way too much. If you're like serious about having teased hair, then Got To Be is your best option. That stuff is like cement. And I'll put that linked in the description as well. How do you get your hair to stay like that even when you shower? Like I said, training. Hi, how do you layer the back of your hair? I love your hair, by the way. To be honest, I don't know how good it looks in the back, but I'll show you. So here's what it looks like from the back. I don't know if you need to see that part, but yeah. What I do to get the layers, for at least like my long parts in the back, the front, these ones, they kind of just come naturally. I just pull it up and, you know, chop away at them. But these longer pieces, how I layer them, I pull it basically straight up. How do I show you this? Like this, and then I pull it up, and then I look at it, or no, and then I chop it like this, like into it, and then it will just lay it back down as a layer, and you do that to all of your hair basically. Do you have a part in your hair? No, not anymore. It has been trained so that I do not. I can make myself have a part, but I don't like the way that looks. How often do you trim the edges to keep them edgy? About, the most that I go is about 3 months. I usually cut off the split ends, cut off, you know, these ends. So yeah, 3 months or so. Or hey, pumpkin, stop! How many cans of Monster can you fit in the fluff? This is a legit question. Let's find out. About 5. Probably I could stick 2 more down here, but we don't have it. We got enough cans, but like I gotta clean them out. How often do you straighten it, if ever? I was doing like every other week. I used to not straighten it at all, but recently I've just been wanting to because of this flippy part, this big curly part, and it also looks better straightened when I tease it. Would you ever go back to having normal hair? This is the thing I've been thinking about a lot. I don't think I'd ever go back to completely normal hair because that's just not my thing. I would never split it straight down the middle. Maybe when I'm in my 30s, but if I ever split it straight down the middle, call the police. But here's kind of what I was planning. I was planning on doing a balayage with my natural hair. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, then then you know, you're just not gonna know. But I was planning on doing a balayage, and then if you guys have seen Pokey Princess, she's like a person I look up to on TikTok. She has this one section of just dyed hair, and I think that looks really cool. So I do that. I do the balayage, but then I'd have that section. And then I was thinking my hair would be more like this. And I think that would be really pretty because then my hair would be more healthy and longer. And that's kind of what I want to do. I'd be a little more updated scene type of look because I've had the same thing going on for, you know, years, and I just feel like it's time for a change. A little bit of a change. I'm still seeing. Don't worry about it. Do you have to have a certain length to have scene hair? This is the thing. I don't personally think so. I've seen people with basically buzz cuts, and they still make it work. Like they dye it, and like their little tiny bangs are still side swept. I think that is so cute. So if you're talking about that short, then yes. Basically any length of hair you can have scene hair. I just prefer mine to be long. What styling tools do you use? I use the Revlon Titanium Straightener, and then I believe a Revlon blow dryer. It's like pink. But the main thing about the blow dryer, make sure it has a cold setting, because that's what will save your hair from less heat. How do you razor your hair? Growing my fringe back out, and it has been years since I had it. Do not use a actual razor. Get a hair razor, like a chop hair razor, not like a hair razor. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, get a real one. And make sure that you're not make sure that the razor is like this, so you're actually cutting, you know, you're cutting the hair. Make sure it's not like this. Do you have any suggestions on how to preserve hair color? Mine always fades really quick. So yes, I do. Cold showers. I know that's kind of awful, but like you can put your hair up when you're washing your body and stuff. But when you're doing your hair, cold. Also, try and stay out of sunlight, which is sometimes hard to do. Heat tools, they really do take out hair color pretty fast. So stay away from heat, or use a heat protectant. If you use some of the hair dye and mix it with conditioner, the hair dye that you used, that should help as well if you mix it with your shampoo and conditioner, because then it'll basically be putting it in your hair. Oh boy, how do I commit bleaching my hair when it's practically naturally black? Well, it all depends on your hair type, but I know my friend, she has Asian hair and it's like basically black. She used a 40 volume, which don't use that unless you have Asian hair. Use about a 30, and there's a lot of science that goes into fucking bleaching, but I'd say go with a 30 for your first time. Look up a lot of tutorials, and that's about as much information as I can give you. I think I'm gonna answer one more question, and I might just make this a series because I am entertained by these. And if you guys are too, then hit me up. Or I could react to pictures that you send me with hair stuff. How do you go from one color back to perfect blonde so easily without bleach? What I do, I literally let it fade to like the worst, like the worst possible state of fading. And I just vibe with it until it's like gone. So that's the way I do it. That's probably the safe way. Also, I use dish soap, which helps really get it out of there. It's also really drying, so make sure that you use a lot of deep conditioner. I dilute the other color with a toner. Scene hair questions, and if you guys want another video on scene hair, then let me know, because I like to talk about scene hair. And I will see you guys in the next video.